Hey, it's the King here. Welcome to my pool bar on this lovely Friday morning. And I want to talk about Mike Tyson. By now, most of you have probably seen what happened with Mike. He was on a flight actually flying here to Florida, and he encountered a passenger that was rather boisterous. The guy was a goofball, to say the least, if you watch him. And it was actually, the incident was recorded. And he was sitting behind Mike. And Mike got so frustrated with this guy that he turned around and he started throwing a barrage of punches at him. Now, Mike Tyson, to me, is a lot like the Lenny character in of Mice and Men. If you know the book and the movie, uh, he's very childlike, and he was raised to a large degree and brought into boxing by Customato. And when Cuss went out of the picture, that's when Mike started to have his problems, had his rape conviction, did time, and I try to watch Mike's podcast, but to me, it's like unwatchable. He's surrounded by, his fanboys and yes men. But there was a funny clip I watched of his podcast with William Shatner, where Mike starts to get mad at William Shatner. It looks like he's gonna smack Shatner around. Mike's say he's childlike, and this incident really didn't surprise me. So many fans, they think of the old Mike Tyson. They think of the guy that was knocking everybody out in the first round, and they forget that Mike's career trajectory was very similar to that of Chuck Liddell. Chuck Liddell knocked out in his last four fights after a dominant career when he was the guy doing the knocking out. Came back to fight Tito, got knocked out. Mike's last fight before, excuse me, before he came back and started doing exhibitions, Mike's last fight was against Kevin McBride, who, if you even watch the fight and you watch the commentators, they were building Kevin McBride up like he was a tomato can and a sheep about to go to the slaughter, and Mike couldn't beat him. Mike Tyson was a shell of the old Mike Tyson by that point, and that was several years ago. So they remember the old Mike. Mike Tyson now, he's high a lot, and he does this like you say, this podcast that to me was just unwatchable. And to me, he's Lenny. And if you don't know what I mean by that, watch Of Mice and Men. Mike Tyson is Lenny. They ought to make a remake of Mice and Men and have Mike Tyson play Lenny.